All right, we're reviewing some special triangles here. So here we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So remember, if we don't have the, first we want to identify the short side always. Okay, so that's right here, opposite 30. So we don't need a calculator for this. Going from the hypotenuse to the short side, we simply divide by 2. So y equals 4. And then we're going from the short side to the middle side. We're getting bigger, so we multiply by radical 3. So x is 4 radical 3. Now, number 2, we have a 45, 45, 90. All right. So these match. So x is just 7. And when we go from the leg to the hypotenuse, we just multiply by radical 2. So y is 7 radical 2. Here we have a 30, 60, 90 again. Notice this time we have the medium side. We always want to go to the short side. We're going to divide by radical 3, which simply gives us 11. So y is 11. And then going to the hypotenuse, we simply multiply by 2. So x is 22. Just a little review. All right, now, here we have area of a circle. Simple formula, pi r squared. R is the radius. Okay? So, area of a circle with a radius of 9. So, area equals pi r squared. So, that's 81 pi. Now, sometimes we will ask you to leave it in the form of pi. Okay? If that's the case, then you will just stop right there. Otherwise, you will do 81 times pi, or 3.4. Oh, actually, yeah, so let's see. Since it says 81 times 3.14, we get 254 points. Whoops. I said it, but didn't write it. 254.34 square inches. Okay. If I would have done 81 and then the pi key, would probably be pretty close, is 254.47. All right, so it's really close. I'll accept either answer. All right. Now, number 2, we're going backwards. We know the area. So 42 is equal to pi r squared. Okay. So what we do is we divide by pi. Okay, so we take 42 divided by 3.14, or the pi key, and I'm going to round it. We get 13.38 equals r squared. And then we take the square root of both sides. So the square root of 13.38 is approximately 3.66 rounded meters. All right, so that's just an approximation. It's rounded. Moving on. So now, what about the area of a sector? So the ratio of the area of a sector of a circle to the area of the whole circle, which is pi r squared, is equal to the ratio of the measure of the intercepted arc to 360. Okay, so we have the area of the sector divided by the area of the circle is equal to the measure of the arc divided by 360. Or you can multiply both sides by pi r squared and just do this. So the measure of the arc divided by 360 times the area, pi r squared. That's the one I usually go with myself. All right, so example 2. We have our formula, right? So we have the measure of our arc, 70, divided by 360 times pi r squared. And then you just crunch the numbers. You just type that in your calculator, straight through. So you can type in 70 divided by 360 times 3.14 or the pi key, whatever, times 8 squared, or you can just type in 64 if you know that in your head, whatever, and you get 39.1 rounded, or 08. Now that's for the smaller sector. The bigger sector, if we do 360 minus 70, we get 290. So we're just going to do the same thing. 290 divided by 360 times pi 8 squared. All right? And it's just going to be the same math. You're just going to type in the calculator the exact same way. All right? So 290 divided by 360. And again, if you use the pi key, it's going to be a little bit different, but that's fine. Times 3.14 times 64. And you get 161.9. All right. Moving on. Find the area of circle V. So this one's a little bit different. This is the area of this sector. Okay, so we know the area of the sector already. So we put that on this side of the equation. And then we have 40 divided by 360 times pi r squared. But remember, this is the area of the circle. So if we just solve this, we'll be there. Okay, so 35 equals, if we do 40 divided by 360, okay, we have 0.1 repeating. All right, so 0.1 repeating pi r squared. So we divide both sides by 0.1 repeating. We get 315 is the area. So 315 meters squared. So we're just working backwards that time. We knew the area of the sector. We're trying to find the area of the whole circle. All right, a rectangular wall has an entrance cut into it. You want to paint the wall to the nearest square foot. What's the area of the region you need to paint? All right, so let's see what we have here. First off, we need to find the area of the entire rectangle. Okay, so the area of the rectangle is 36 by 26 because 16 plus 10 is 26. So the area of the rectangle is 36 times 26. That's 936. But we're taking out this piece, which is 16 by 16, right? So that's a square. Okay, so the area of the square is 16 squared. That's 256. So we're going to take that out. And we have a semicircle. So the area of the semicircle is pi r squared, that's 8 squared, but divided by 2 because we only have half of a circle. So that's 64 times 3.14 divided by 2. So that's 100.5. It's 48. All right. So if we combine these two, 100.5 plus 256, this is the part we are subtracting, 356.5. So 936 minus 356.5 gives us a grand total of 579.5.